Welcome back, everybody, to episode 18 of A Scavenger's Life. Space Engineers, A Scavenger's Life. I should probably say that, but hey, we got it. Let's talk about this. So, pretty excited I had a 4-day weekend because I was able to get quite a bit done. First things first is I have a courser there, and I have a courser down here. Oh, yeah, also, let me show you this real fast. Look at, I redid the whole hangar setup. So now we have bays for each of our ships to go into. And man, did I rock out some firearms. I got 2 Gatling guns here. Oh, I never put Gatling guns over here. I'll have to get that done. But those are set up to target rockets and rockets only for a little bit of defense. And then I got dual railgun. I got dual railgun, dual railgun, and dual railgun, which is pretty dope. Set up with one of these, whatever this is, a 640 millimeter iron fist battery. Look at that, 3 massive barrels on it. And then I think these are 1,000 millimeters. Yep, perfect. Awesome. So a lot of firepower. Obviously, I need to do more defenses going all the way around. But that was also one of the things I was working on. So we now officially have drones. Yes, this whole thing is set up to be a drone. This whole thing is set up to be a drone. And the way I have it set up is I can have this one out patrolling. And then, ooh, frame rate drop. And then I can start a second one here and go up patrol. They'll return here to actually refuel and re-ammo up and then take off again all automatically. The way I was able to design these drones, I used Splitsy's guide. I'll put a link to the video down in the descriptions. I thought the way he did that was fantastic. I'm using his knowledge to make this happen. But I'm gonna go over what I did in more of a summed up version, trying to walk you through all of the algorithm that's basically being ran through the system to make it so it actually does patrols. The goal of this, the way it's set up, is it's going to go out, patrol up to 2,000 kilometers away. If it finds a target to attack, it's going to engage that target in a hit and run fashion. Once that target gets destroyed, as long as it has enough ammo, enough fuel left, it's going to reset itself and go back on patrol. But if the ammo or the fuel is below 25%, it's automatically going to return here, dock. After about 15 seconds, it's going to then launch again. So it's really going to be one of those things that I set it and forget it, which is I'm pretty excited for. I'm pretty positive I got it working the right way. I will walk you guys through how I have it set up right now. And like I said, if you want to see a more in-depth tutorial about it and how I set it up, let me know and we'll make it happen. But anyway, up top, I do have the AI flight move. I have 2 basic recording tasks. I have an offensive combat block, a just basic task block, and a patrol or defense combat block up top as well. And then we do have 3 event controllers and 3 more timing blocks on the bottom. This is actually overkill because there's 2 timing blocks built into the ship somewhere. I just have no idea where, and I could have used those instead of these 2, but too late now, I guess. I could fix it, but not worried about it. So let's talk about how this works. Obviously, the first thing we need to talk or look at is just how it launches. So let's look at the timer block launch, and let's look at how those actions work. When that timer block starts, there's 4 things that are happening. First off, the AI flight block is being turned on. Obviously, it needs to be turned on. It needs to make sure it's turned on so it has control of the ship. It's disconnecting itself from the connector, so it's no longer being fueled and or loaded with ammo, so it can now be free to leave. We also need to turn on the AI recorder block that's labeled launch, and we also want to make sure precision mode is turned off. We don't want to run into any issues where it's going to run into things, not collision wise, but we don't want it to get confused. I just want to hit those points as quickly as possible and move on. Out of these 4 options, the most important one is going to be the AI recorder task launch red team. Let's take a look at that one next so we can see what that does. We have that sitting right here. What we're going to notice is there's nothing really crazy going on here except for 4 waypoints. Those waypoints are leaving the connector, going straight out, and I do separate them distance-wise further and further as we go. Like waypoint 1 and 2 are pretty close. 3 is probably twice as far away. 4 is probably twice as far away from that, and then 5 is probably twice as far away from that one as well, just to get it enough distance. We're also going to notice underneath waypoint 5, we have another timer block set up. So underneath that action, we have the timer block patrol. automatically being turned on the moment that it hits waypoint 5. So let's look at what the patrol block is doing for our ship. Okay, so the patrol block timer, let's jump in and look at those actions. We have it turning collision avoidance on. So again, I don't want it crashing into any of my ships out there. I don't want it crashing into an asteroid. I don't want it crashing into my space station. So we automatically turn that on. The reason why I don't want that turned on during the launch sequence is it gets really confused with how close the blocks are around it. So I kind of prevent that by having it turn on at this point. The next thing that's getting turned on is just the AI behavior. I always want to ensure it's turned on. It's kind of a safety measure. For some reason, if it got reset, it's good to go. And then the next one is going to be turning on that AI defense, which is important. That's how it's going to find our targets for us. So at this point, it has now reached the patrol moment. It is now starting that patrol. The way we ensure that it's actually patrolling is because we have this AI basic task set up to wander when idle. So the moment it hits a point that there's nothing else going on, it's automatically going to send a signal to the move block saying, hey dude, just start flying around, do your thing, which is pretty cool. Okay, so the next thing we gotta look at is the defensive block. What's going on with the defensive block is we have it set up so it's going to defend against enemies. I don't really care about what it's defending against, especially because it's on the defensive side. And it's going to automatically lock targets, which is good. The thing is typically what happens with defensive blocks is it automatically flees. We don't want it running away from a ship. We want it engaging a ship. So the way we fix that is we turn it to always, and then we set up an action. Within that action, we now have a timer block target. So, and it's set to trigger automatically. So our defense block is really there just to lock on, identify a target, and that's it. Typically it'd be set up so it runs away. We're not having it run away, we want it to engage. If we take a look at the target timer block and look at the actions underneath that, we're going to see 4 things. We're going to see the fact that it turns off the AI basic task, so it's no longer on patrol mode. It's going to turn off the defensive combat block because we don't want it to retreat. We don't want it to run back to, you know, the base, run back to mommy and daddy, that type of thing. We want it to actually engage and fight for us. And then it's also going to turn on the AI offensive block. At the same time, it's also going to turn on our timer block reset. So let's first look at what the offensive combat block does. Okay, so what we have going on with the offensive combat block is it's designed to attack targets or attack enemies, of course. It's always going to be going after the closest target, but I do have it searching every 30 seconds versus like if you go too low, it's going to be constantly searching for the closest target. If it's too high, I don't know what the issue with that would be. Maybe it would, you know, get out. I don't know. I don't know what the issue would be with it being too high. 30 seconds is just where I threw it. I have it targeting weapons because the way I think of this is if our drones can take out the weapons of our enemies by the time it gets to our base, there's nothing really to be worried about. And these ships are super cheap for me to make, so I can kind of mass produce them. So if I lose them, it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to do more of a hit and run setup because this drone is designed to go really fast. It's not really designed to hover and circle and move around it. So I want to come in, boom, 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 and zoom out and then turn around, come back in. So we have the break-off distance set at 200. We have the retreat distance set to 1,000 or the retreat timeout. So if it's trying to get 1,000 meters away and it can't after 15 seconds, it's just going to turn around and engage again. So kind of keep them busy, keep them distracted. 4 firearms attached to this with 4 turrets and a rocket launcher, which is pretty awesome that that's set up that way and good to go. Now, the other one we have to look at, though, is the reset block. Why the reset block is important is, let's say our ship got out there and it engaged a target, and it didn't run out of ammo, it didn't run out of fuel, and it destroyed the target. The issue is then our ship would just sit there and nothing would happen until it ran out of fuel, and that would trigger it to actually turn around and come home. But I don't really want my ship just sitting in the middle of space, not coming back. I need it to come back. I need it to, you know, or at least continue patrolling until it does run out of fuel or until it does run out of ammo. The only way I could think of doing this was, and this was not in Splitsy's guide, I did reach out to him and he gave me this idea. So again, I really appreciate that. And I'm pretty positive I set it up right. So underneath setup actions, actually the first thing I want to show you is this is a delay for 3 minutes. Because remember, when the target timer block engages, it starts this one. And it's going to take 3 minutes for it to actually trigger. So once I start it, it takes 3 minutes before it gets to that point. Let's look at actions. Underneath actions, it's going to re-trigger that timer block patrol, which the timer block patrol sets it back up to patrol and it turns back on defenses, the defense block. Which means that if you set it back on patrol and it automatically detects another target right away, it's going to turn all that back off and go right back into the actual engagement and start fighting again. However, if there's no enemy for it to fight, it can just return back to normal patrol. I also set it up to where it's going to automatically turn collision avoidance on. And I can't think of any other things I should probably reset with this as well. But my thought process here is, in case something just gets confused in the system, I want to make sure collision avoidance is always turned on, because the moment it gets back to the landing phase, so let's take a look at landing now. What's going to happen with landing is at waypoint 5, it's going to automatically turn collision avoidance off. At waypoint 4, it's automatically going to turn AI behavior off on the basic task. Why is it doing that? I don't remember. Oh, I think it's turning off the patrol mode and all that type of stuff. Yep. It's been a while since I was working on this versus recording. On waypoint 3, it's going to turn off the combat AI defensive portion of it, because I don't want it to start returning, pick up a target, and then go back out and attack. At waypoint 2, it is turning off the offensive side of things just to make sure, again, it's turned off. It should be, but, you know, I'm having like a fail-safe in there. And then at waypoint 1, which is essentially the landing on the connector, it should be automatically connecting to it and locking in. The last thing we got to look at is our event controllers. So the event controllers is what's going to trigger what happens when it comes to the system. So for instance, event controller ammo red team. What this is saying that is a cargo fill percentage is equal or less than 10%. It's going to return back to fill up. The only things I have attached to this is the Gatling guns. I'm not putting the rocket launcher on there because it only carries like 4 rockets and it's going to run out all the time anyway. The rockets go boom, 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 boom on the first target and it's done. The other one is we have the fuel one. So, let me go back to the ammo. So again, what happens underneath actions is it automatically launches that landing, the landing task function. Underneath fuel is, once again, once the cargo level of our fuel tank reaches 25%, it's going to trigger that same landing process, and it's based off that hydrogen tank. So once the hydrogen tank gets down to 25%, it's going to automatically say, hey, I need to go back to land and refuel. The last event controller I have is really doing the exact opposite, right? So then the thing that allows it to continually go out and patrol is our last event controller, which is called fill. The way this works is once the cargo is filled to a certain percentage, so equal to or greater than 90%, it now allows it, because we have the actual hydrogen tank selected, it now will allow it to, underneath actions here, to redo the whole launch cycle over and over again. So let's test this, right? Let's go ahead and just fly out here. I'm going to fly relatively far away. And I'm going to go down to my actual, I think it's here. I think this is my, let me make sure it's right. Yeah, landing. So let me go ahead and hit 1 here. And this is now going to start the landing process. Oh, I gotta turn on the drone. So I'm going to just go ahead and get out so you guys can see it happening. You know I'm not pressing buttons. Oh, you know what? I think that timer block is still turned off. Give me a second. Right now it is doing, I'm going to get into it because I want to turn the landing on and then I'll jump out. But right now it's just basically doing patrolling. I'm not hitting buttons. It's just doing all the work itself. So let's say it's out there. In fact, I think I can jump into the inventory here and let's just pull out all the ammo. So now what should happen is if we look underneath the move block, it is returning to waypoint 5. So I'm going to jump out and let it return to waypoint 5. I'm going to turn off auto dampeners so we can actually watch it from afar. And you can easily see that I'm not in the ship. It's a drone, so it should be doing it automatically. I'm going to move this one real fast just to make sure it doesn't... it should be fine. I have confidence. I have so much confidence in what I'm doing here that this will be fine. So here comes the drone. It is already reversed and backing straight up, or getting there. Don't get confused on me now. Okay, there it is. It is a little bit of a slow process, but it has precision mode on, so it's going exactly to that waypoint. It's turning itself around. Look at that. It's almost straight back at the docking station. It cruises pretty dang good. I mean, I'm going 50 milliseconds. I was going 50 milliseconds there for a second. Or meters a second, probably the right terminology. Gets itself lined up. Doesn't even get so close to the ground. You see that? Doesn't hit it though. Comes in and finds that waypoint. It docks. It's fueling up. Don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. Alright, well, I fumbled around some buttons and I accidentally sent my drone I was working on out patrolling and now I can't find it. I was thinking, do I need an antenna on here to be able to easily see it, or is it because I'm not in a ship? If I jump into this thing with an antenna on it, can I see it then? I'd have to go recover it, otherwise I can just set up the other drone I have sitting here and show you the rest of it. Let's see. While I was redocking my Necro, I'm starting thinking maybe what I could do is just put a beacon on this thing. How big is you? I don't really want to... Like if I were to remove... that, let's make sure I didn't mess up anything. How dumb would it be to just put this right there? Needs radio components. Let's go park this close to the build and repair real fast. I'm gonna run through, make sure I have everything set up correctly for this to be a drone, and I'll show you it in action one more time. Okay, it reached the waypoint 5. It's flipping around. Oh shoot, turn that back on. Okay, I just thought of that. Ooh. Alright, there we go. It's locked into place. Well, I had some issues with my recording, so I had to... I don't know what my problem is with OBS recently, but it's a nightmare. So I had to reload, which is fun. And we just got notice that there is a Reaver attacking the SSA, the space station base. So let's go and try to save it. Be honest, this is the second time I've done this because it worked well the first time until the error popped up on my recording. So this is super fun. If I sound a little annoyed, I'm a little annoyed. Trying to get stuff done, trying to record videos, and OBS is being stupid. But yeah, let's get down there and let's see if we can't defend this a little bit. I was hoping I could try out my defenses up here. I don't know if... I'm pretty positive I was able to record the fact that the drone I was working on crashed into the station. So I gotta figure out what happened there. Either collision avoidance wasn't turned on, or I need to make it further away. So once that second drone gets built, or third drone now gets built, I'll make those adjustments. Let's see if I can actually jump here, because when I was doing this earlier, I wasn't able to jump. So let's take a look. And I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, if it is OBS that's struggling, or if it's my computer that's struggling, because this is a pretty big, base I got built back there, so... But then again, when I look at it, I'm running at 60 frames per second, and my CPU usage is at like 1%. I don't think it's an issue of my computer. I think it's OBS having issues. And I may just have to completely uninstall it and reinstall it, which might be the goal. So let's see if we can't take this out. Ooh. If it's coming for me, that's good. I would prefer it comes for me, because then we're just gonna go back to base. But man, I did a lot of damage to that thing already. And I think we're just gonna sit right here and continue to nuke it. Like, did we take it out? Hold on. This might went a lot better this time around than it did the first time. I might die right here. Oh no, it's still shooting over here. Yeah, that was a really dumb idea. I just got excited thinking, hey, maybe I can take this over, but once I saw it still shooting, I probably should have waited. We'll go get my body in a second. I want to... I think it's lost all thrust, though. I think it still has guns, but I do think it's lost pretty much all thrust. That or it's running. One of the two. I didn't think Reavers ran, though. I want to get these broadheads, you know, facing it. That's why I'm coming in this way. We did take a little bit of damage, but obviously it's all fixable. Looks like that was a painful hit, it looked like. We're still shredding this thing. I mean, there's still chunks falling off of it pretty quickly. I think we just lost a cargo container. Try coming at it here on this side. Rotate it around so our guns can get back on it. Yeah, this ended up being worse because A, I died, and B, I lost the cargo container this time around. I think it's pretty much done though at this point. Where's my body at? Let's go get my body. It's pretty far away. And then let's go finish up what we were doing. I'll have to go back and check out the asteroid base here in a little bit, but I'm not overly worried about it for right now because I'm sure a lot of it's left because it's actually inside the asteroid. Might need to do some maintenance, some fixing up, but I'm not overly concerned about it. So what I want to do is make sure this drone is working because I have some plans for future episodes. I'll kind of go over that right now, and the main reason I'll go over it right now is I'm going to be on holiday, on vacation, however you say that, but PTO, you know, paid time off. I will not be working the following week. I'll actually be traveling to a place much warmer than where I live now, so I'm pretty excited about that. Which means though the following Saturday there's not going to be an episode, so we'll have a break in there to make that happen. But I think that gives me time to also think about and process how I want to do the next couple episodes. What I'm wanting to do now, and it could change, but I'll kind of hit on this, is I really want to design my own ship. I want to design my own ship from the ground up. I'm thinking about it being a carrier, especially if I can get these drones to work right. That's the main reason why I built this tube, in a sense, that the drones can come out of. I would like to make the drones smaller, but just experimenting with things. learning. That's the biggest thing I'm doing here, is just the learning side of it. And then I want to build, so the way I want to do it is I want to build the carrier away from the base, so build and repair is not doing it as I'm building it, so I don't necessarily waste resources as I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm going to approach it in a sense of like, the first thing I'm going to do is just do a silhouette of what I want the ship to look like, both vertically and horizontally, you know, length and everything. Try and get this ship to stop. Once I start talking to you guys, I can't pilot worth the dang. But lay it out that sense, and then kind of structurally work on it. Like, hey, this is where the bays are going to be. It might be kind of hard to explain the way I'm saying it now, but in my brain it makes really good sense. I don't know if I finished this thought, but essentially what I want to do when I build the carrier, though, is I want to create a second ship that's going to have a couple cargo containers on it and a couple build and repair containers on it. And I'm going to use it for two things. When I destroy something like that Reaver down there, I want to be able to bring that in and use it to scrap everything that's there. So I own it, and when I am building that carrier, I want to be able to pull up to that carrier using that system and completely build it off-grid, you know, away from the station. Alright, well, I had to take a day to recompose myself and figure out what was going on here. For some reason, the very first drone I built, it had no issues flying into that kind of tunnel I had built and land and then refuel and leave. But for some reason, when I sent that one out to the abyss because I forgot to turn the stockpile off, I couldn't get another drone to work right. So, but I just removed everything. I think I'm good now. I do have, yeah, Team 2 beacon. There's one out there right now doing some patrols. This one is getting built. I'm hoping once it's built, I can just basically flip it on and it should be able to take over. No problem with what it is. I just got to throw ice in it, you know, pretty simple stuff though. So I'm hoping that works. Also to kind of talk through some of the things going on. So all this damage that's been taken, which I don't see any currently. Yeah, here's this one that happened because my ship blew up. Decided to run into a couple things here I got to fix. I'm going to start replacing everything with heavy blocks. So as I got to repair things, I'm going to start putting heavy blocks in place. You can kind of see it happened here. That was my fault. I'm not sure how this damage happened. So on and so forth. I also do need to build a way into this area, I feel like. Maybe not. Maybe I don't need it. I don't know. We'll figure that out. I really could just put a set of stairs or something. Oh. How did you happen? Let's fix this real quick. There. Problem fixed. Not sure what happened there. I wonder what wasn't working because of it. But yeah, I could probably put some stairs going down, like all the way down, kind of wrapped around, connecting down here or something to get up there. Granted, I'm just going to use my jetpack at all times. But that is one of the things I did do. You'll notice up top, I gotta figure out how to get back up here, is I did put a grab generator up here. Just made walking around and doing things so much easier. So I'm pretty happy with that. I did that before I even started recording the first part of this episode. Dangerous Ember encounter. Oh, I'd love to try out the guns, but I also don't want to lose all work I did. I feel like what I need to do when I get back from my vacation is probably finish off my eating area over here and get oxygen running in here, because I don't really have too many places I can go to actually not, you have to take your helmet off to, I'd like to get this area done here purely because of the fact that you have to take your helmet off to be able to eat and drink, which, I mean, makes sense. And I don't have a lot of places I can do that at. So I definitely want to work on getting this done. I think, though, while I'm sitting here, I'm going to go ahead and throw up another grab generator. I don't think it's going to hurt to have one sitting here. We'll just put it right here for right now. That should get constructed pretty quick and easy, I feel like. At least I thought so. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's going. Let's take a look here. So 140 mushrooms. I don't have anything going on with compost right now. No herbs. Out of green beans? Like, are we out of green beans? Yeah, crazy. Oh no, I got green beans right here. Okay, so what about herbs? Herbs, blurbs. Got some plenty of wheat, so we can make bread. Looks like we got some cabbage. I don't see any pumpkins, though. Nope, no pumpkins. And then not enough apples yet to make an apple tree. So I did have to continue going out and collecting those. I am out of, or almost out of, my single chips. I think I am out of water, but the good news is I did figure out how to make more water, I think. Didn't I? Oh yeah, it's just ice and metal tin cans. Here's a whole area I need to finish in. Apparently you're going to be... Okay. I don't remember doing that, but apparently I am. I don't know what that is either. Got all kinds of weird random stuff here as I was building this out. Let's see what I was looking for. Oh yeah, production. Let's do 100 of these. And then I think I can go into and make 100 of those. So once the cans get done, I'll start making some more water, so we'll be fine on that. Water just takes ice in a tin can, so it's pretty easy to make, obviously. I do want to continue putting my green lights around here. I wish they were like more of a straight projection out, like we could see them easier. But oh well, it's going to be alright. I do have to put up 2 more Gatling guns over here and have them set to target missiles. I really should put a little bit more defenses down here. The other thing I was thinking about doing though is I really should grab the ring and let's... Not like that. Not like that. Perfect. We'll leave it just like that. Hopefully it's not going to damage it because it's not running. It is damaging it, isn't it? So I think if I went remote control, grab this. Can I turn the thrusters off? Sure can. Okay. That way it's just not hanging down, and I'm hoping that if we get attacked, it's less likely to actually get attacked. Unknown signal. Let's see what we get out of this real fast. This might be done. It's getting there. Ooh, there's more cabbage. Maybe we can start making some. Med kits, construction components. Okay. Could have been worse. Did we get anything free? Let's see. Got a leopard drill. I think I already have that one. I must not have something close enough for this. That's all right. Not worried about that. So yeah, I think we get back from vacation. So again, there will be no episode next Saturday. But the following Saturday, there should be one. And I think what I'll do is I'll really work on expanding out this area here and kind of turn it into like a kitchen area, like have some tables, some chairs, that type of stuff, and oxygen. I have to figure that out. I'm not the best at learning that yet, but hopefully we'll figure it out. Hopefully it'll look good. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as soon as don't you dare crash while I'm doing my outro. Yeah, you better fly away. Better fly away. Oh, I might have did a lot of damage to that thing. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. I love the support we're getting, guys. I cannot appreciate you guys enough. It's so fun responding to comments and just seeing the channel grow. Never my wildest dreams, I think we'd be at where we're at. 625 subscribers, I think, as of finishing this recording. So anyway, I gotta get to editing because I'm gonna be gone for a week and I'm looking forward to it. And I'll see you guys in 2.